in the static, it's in the moisture.
Prepare to unleash your darkest fears with Shudder's top 10 skin-crawling horror movies. From heart-pounding scares to twisted tales of terror, these brutal selections will haunt your dreams. Let's dive right in. Number 10. Gwen.
Get out! Get out!
As the blood passes from the body, so does the evil.
In the mist-choked hills of 19th century Wales, a young girl named Gwen watches her world rot from the inside out. Her father's absence is a mystery. Her mother grows sicker and stranger by the day, and their farm, isolated and cursed by whispers, seems to repel all light. When livestock turn up mutilated and villagers cast cold, accusing stares, Gwen is forced to protect her family against a creeping, unseen malevolence. Directed by William McGregor, Gwen smolders with folk horror dread, mixing haunting silence, decaying superstition, and the slow decay of sanity. Every shadow in the valley holds secrets, and survival comes at a terrifying cost. Number 9. Hellbender.
Have you been in my dreams? If you break my heart, I'll devour you.
High in the secluded woods, a teenage girl named Izzy lives in eerie isolation with her mother, told that a rare illness keeps her from the outside world. But when a chance encounter with another teen unlocks her hunger for connection and something darker, Izzy begins to unravel the truth. The illness is a lie. Her lineage is a legacy of witches, and what flows in her veins isn't sickness, it's power. Directed by the Addams Family, Hellbender is a psychedelic blend of folk horror and coming-of-age terror. Number 8. Saloum.
Ça a commencé.
When 3 notorious mercenaries crash-land their escape plane in the remote Saloum Delta of Senegal, they seek refuge in a mysterious village hiding ancient secrets. What begins as a mission to lay low soon spirals into a waking nightmare, as the past resurfaces and an ancient curse awakens from the sands. Led by director Jean-Luc Herbulot, Saloum fuses Western grit, supernatural horror, and African folklore into a genre-bending fever dream. Beneath sun-scorched skies and whispering winds, something ancient and vengeful hunts the living, and not all who vanish are truly gone. Number 7. Psycho Gorman.
Find me! Find me or you all die! Ah!
In a quiet suburb, 2 mischievous siblings accidentally resurrect an ancient alien warlord buried in their backyard. He was once the destroyer of galaxies, but now, bound by a magical amulet, he must obey their childish whims. What follows is a twisted comedy of cosmic carnage as Psycho Gorman, PG for short, struggles between slaughter and servitude, while darker forces from beyond the stars close in. Directed by Steven Kostanski, the film is a gory, neon-drenched love letter to 80s creature features and sci-fi horror. It's absurd, grotesque, and soaked in blood, all wrapped in Saturday morning cartoon chaos. Number 6. The Advent Calendar.
Avec ce calendrier, ça va te rendre dingue. Tu prends bien tes médocs contre tes hallucinations, tout ça?
Paralyzed and bitter, Eva lives a quiet, joyless existence until her friend gifts her a mysterious antique Advent calendar. But each door hides something more sinister than chocolate. Blood-soaked miracles, deadly choices, and a countdown that demands sacrifice. As Eva's life begins to twist with strange fortune and unholy consequences, the calendar tightens its grip, revealing that every gift comes with a curse. Directed by Patrick Ridremont, the Advent Calendar is a slow-burning nightmare wrapped in holiday dread, mixing supernatural horror with Faustian tension. Number 5. Seance. In a dim, aging Tokyo apartment, a couple stumbles upon a lost little girl with no memory of who she is or how she got there. But when they decide to keep her hidden to avoid suspicion, the walls begin to whisper, and time itself feels cursed. Something followed the girl into their home. Something spectral, watching from the shadows. Seance is a masterclass in restrained supernatural horror, dripping with atmosphere and quiet dread. The film builds a slow, suffocating tension, with each whisper and creaking floorboard unraveling sanity and morality alike. Number 4. Vicious fun.
Oh my God! Who is that?
Phil.
Joel, a horror movie critic with social anxiety, stumbles into a self-help group for serial killers, and he's the only non-killer in the room. Trapped and desperate, he must outwit a bloodthirsty lineup of maniacs straight out of the movies he obsesses over. But as the night spirals into chaos, Joel realizes fiction has nothing on the real horrors that surround him. Directed by Cody Callahan, Vicious Fun is a neon-soaked, synth-laced descent into retro-styled terror with razor-sharp humor and brutal kills. It's part satire, part slasher, all soaked in 80s dread and fluorescent blood. Number 3. Tigers Are Not Afraid. In the war-torn streets of Mexico, where the cartels have devoured entire neighborhoods and stolen countless lives, a young girl named Estrella is granted 3 wishes. But each wish comes at a horrifying price. After her mother disappears, Estrella joins a gang of orphaned children who navigate the ruins of their childhood, dodging gangsters, ghosts, and the ever-present specter of death. As supernatural forces begin to coil around them, reality blurs with nightmare, and the line between the living and the dead vanishes. The film is a dark fairy tale soaked in blood and sorrow, blending gritty cartel violence with haunting magical realism. Number 2. Mad God. In a decaying, nightmarish world of endless industrial ruins and writhing monstrosities, a gas-masked figure descends through layers of hell on a mysterious mission. What lies below is beyond comprehension. Grotesque mutations, torture machines, and a godless void where language, logic, and life itself break apart. Directed by legendary effects master Phil Tippett, Mad God is a stop-motion fever dream decades in the making, wordless and relentless in its descent into madness. There's no plot in the traditional sense, only a journey through a world where hope is obsolete and suffering is eternal. Each frame is handcrafted terror, each sound a metallic whisper from the abyss. Number 1. One Cut of the Dead. A low-budget film crew sets out to shoot a zombie movie in an abandoned water treatment plant only to be attacked by actual zombies. What begins as a frantic, blood-soaked, single-take survival scenario quickly unravels into something far more twisted and brilliant. The film is a genre-defying horror comedy that peels back the layers of filmmaking, madness, and pure creative chaos. The first 37 minutes are a relentless one-take zombie frenzy, but the real horror and humor emerges in the unraveling that follows. Beneath the gore and screams lies a heart-pounding celebration of passion, desperation, and the unholy magic of storytelling. It's a film that transforms itself mid-bite, catching viewers off guard and dragging them into something truly unforgettable. Here are 4 other movies you have to see. Caveat. A drifter with partial memory loss is hired to watch over a psychologically unstable young woman in a decaying house on an isolated island. But there's a catch. He must wear a leather harness that limits his movement. As the walls close in and strange visions begin, he realizes he's part of something far more sinister. In this claustrophobic nightmare, isolation isn't the scariest part. It's what's already inside. Calvaire. A traveling singer's van breaks down in the middle of nowhere, and he's offered shelter by a lonely innkeeper who seems far too eager to keep him there. What begins as awkward hospitality slowly rots into psychological horror and grotesque delusion. In this twisted descent, the line between man and beast vanishes, and escape becomes a cruel illusion. Color out of space. After a meteorite crashes on their remote farm, a family begins to experience bizarre changes. Animals mutate, time fractures, and a strange color begins to infect everything it touches. Directed by Richard Stanley and starring Nicolas Cage, this adaptation of Lovecraft's tale is a psychedelic body horror spiral into madness. Sweet, sweet, lonely girl. A quiet, withdrawn girl named Adele moves in to care for her reclusive, ailing aunt in a crumbling old house. But when she befriends the mysterious and seductive Beth, her world begins to shift into something darker and more dangerous. As the aunt's condition worsens and Adele's identity begins to erode, the line between love, possession, and the supernatural blurs.